Hello and welcome to the podcast, The Secret Chat, episode 5, where four very foolish friends, very handsome also, very nice, very sweet, very kind.
Approved by the grandmother.
Yes,
Thanks, Mom.
thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mother. You are joined by your host, your favorite, Philip. Hi. You're also joined by Matt. Say hello.
Hello.
And Amr.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest this week. Give it up for Gabe.
Hello.
Round
Thanks
of
for having
applause
me
for
on the
Gabe.
podcast.
Yes, really glad to have you here. So, we're gonna go ahead and open up the first few, maybe 10, 15 minutes to viewer questions. Our first viewer question comes from Virginia.
Virginia.
She says, "Do aliens poop? ? And if so, is it a color based on their mood?"
You know,
Aliens yet again.
Yes, aliens are a
I
big theme.
can't believe. All right, let me go ahead and say this. We are 5 weeks in. That's amazing. 5 podcasts in. Round of applause for that.
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
But to answer your question, everybody poops besides Kim Jong, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And girls. And girls.
Girls don't poop.
Did you guys read that book growing up? Everybody poops.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I never actually read it. It made me feel
never
a lot better.
Okay. I think it's a Catholic thing. I'm not sure.
A Catholic
What do you mean a
thing?
Catholic thing?
Yeah.
Like that book? I'm pretty sure it's like religious. I never read it myself, but
So they like Jesus brought it down side by side with the Bible. He was like, this is an optional
All right,
additional thing.
I'm looking up the book. Let me see this.
Okay, so we do agree that aliens poop, and alright, so when the aliens do poop, is the color based on their mood? That is the question.
Well,
like kind of like a mood ring kind of thing?
Yeah, like a mood ring, exactly.
I mean,
I'm not sure. I think it would be based on their health in a sense.
Yeah.
So they're like, if they're healthy, then they poop a certain way, and if they're unhealthy, they poop a certain way. And that I don't know if that's linked to emotional health or physical health.
So if they eat too many Lucky Charms, they might poop too much green.
Could.
Right.
I mean, like, too much fatty foods, different color, you know?
I see.
Okay.
I think if they were to poop, it would be a normal color, honestly.
But what color do you think it would be?
What do you consider normal?
So for them, normal for them, right?
Yeah, would it be green?
Are aliens green? We don't know anything about aliens.
We don't know anything about
Why do we always have to discuss aliens on this freaking podcast?
But I don't know.
Okay, well thank you for the question. Our next question comes from
back to the Everyone Poops book. It is written by Taro Gomi and first published in Japan in 1977. So I mean, I don't think it's Catholic. I don't know.
Yeah, I was probably wrong on that end.
Okay.
All right.
Next question comes from one of our verified fans, Bird Dog. He says, "This is quote unquote. Does Lady Gaga?"
Does Lady Gaga?
That is his question.
All right. All right. So everyone, week 5. We are on week 5.
We are on week 5.
It has been 3 weeks straight of Lady Gaga questions.
Lady Gaga.
Why do you guys care so much?
Will this ever end? Will this ever end?
Lady Gaga, we want you to just come on the podcast and tell us if you do. Do you do? And if you do, do you do?
We need a live reveal here.
It's like those old Instagram and Twitter posters, like posting this every single day until this happens.
Yeah, posting this until so and so sees my
eating a piece of paper every day until PewDiePie sees this video. The kid actually did it for like a year.
Day 233.
Yeah.
Did he ever see it?
He saw it. He did it on his channel. He put it on his channel.
I think he actually ate a picture of the guy.
No, yeah, he had a picture of PewDiePie. Yeah.
No. PewDiePie ate a picture of the guy who was posting it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right, Gabe. You're right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty nice of Pewds.
Very nice.
I wouldn't mind PewDiePie eating a picture of me.
Hell, that'd be the peak of my lifetime.
Honestly, I mean, maybe we could get some exposure for the podcast by doing that.
Hey,
Exactly.
Then that'd
PewDiePie,
be
you can come on. You can come on, get some exposure on the secret chat. I'm sure you need it.
some
Yeah.
exposure.
PewDiePie,
I'll text him about it.
you
So,
have
Oh, you will?
his agent?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I have his
Awesome.
number.
Very
I
awesome.
Yeah,
mean,
he's-
like,
Call him right now.
His number's a lot like Jay-Z. So like when I call him, I hear an answer from his agent, and his agent says either he will get back to me or not. And then a few days later, I'll get a phone call from a number. It says that it's not registered, and that will most likely either be him or the president, because you know,
Ooh.
Right. So you have those connections.
yeah.
All right, so I think that was all our viewer questions for today. Y'all good?
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
Very nice.
So would you like me to start on the first topic?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we would love you too, Gabe.
So our first topic today that I'd like to bring up is insecurity. A lot of us struggle with this, and a lot of us overcome this and become better people because we've overcome this. And so I'd like you all to, we'll talk about our insecurities and what we can do to better ourselves and overcome these. So if you want, I can start with mine.
What is your insecurity, Gabe?
Yes, Gabe.
Go ahead.
Ever since I was a kid growing up, I've been afraid that people just assume I'm gay. Because, one, I hit puberty late. I don't grow much hair. Sometimes I sound like a woman. I'm very flamboyant. And this has been a big issue for me because I'm not. I've thought about it. I have, because if everybody's like, "Yeah, you must be," then of course it's going to get to you, and you're going to think about it, right? And
Like, what if, you know?
exactly. What if I'm the only one who doesn't
What if
see
they're
it?
right?
But then I realized everything I do in life is for women. I want to get a great job because I want a nice woman. I want to succeed just so I can have a nice woman. You know what I mean? When
Right.
I'm with a girl and she's wearing perfume, it'll make my knees weak. Like it's almost an addiction, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're coming from.
But like I've always had to almost compensate for the fact that I think all these people just assume it. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Why do you think? Why do you think they assume it? I mean, what?
For those reasons, I'm a very flamboyant person. I speak my mind, and I always speak before I think, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do all these things that aren't very alpha male number in society, you know. I do different things than what people say is correct.
I mean,
So
that's fine.
I understand. Yeah, it's
Of course it's fine.
angle,
Yeah.
but if I'm trying to get a girl, I don't want her to assume I'm just being friendly because, you know, I'm gay. I don't have anything against gay people. I love gay people.
Yeah, but
every-
I mean, if you're being lumped into their
Yeah.
just because of the way you act, I mean, it doesn't. You know, it sucks, especially if you're not fucking gay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that category if you.
If you don't belong, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So how would I go about overcoming this? Because I've tried multiple things. I've tried being over masculine. I've tried just
I mean,
completely just compensating for the fact, you know.
I wouldn't try and be something you aren't.
Yeah.
you
Don't
know?
Yeah,
don't try
yeah.
to morph to what society wants you to be.
Be your own person.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. I know everyone always says like, be yourself, do this, do that. And I know it is very, very hard, and it's very hard with the pressure, like social pressure and all that, but getting down deep to it, if you just be yourself, you can be very, very, very happy.
And I mean,
Also-
also, you kind of have to leave those people behind as well.
Yeah, I
Like, are
agree.
these your friends or are they just commoners?
No, just like general people I go about in life.
Okay. Well, that's good to
Um,
know then.
But I mean, also like, I'm not even sure that I see that as much. Like, I mean, I could see people maybe like on first impression, but after I talk to you for a couple, I mean, even minutes, I mean, very easily I could see that you're not
Yeah,
gay.
Yeah, like
you know?
Gabe, like the first
I'm-
time I met you, dude, like I never got that impression.
Yeah,
That
I
yeah,
never got that.
that's like actually very reassuring.
And I mean,
like
I'm
I never
kinda-
even thought about it.
The first time I
I'm
saw
go-
you, I was like, this guy's like really outgoing. He's cool. He likes movies. Like I like this guy. Like I mess with him. Yeah, he's nice.
if he likes movies, I like it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm glad you brought this discussion up because now that you bring this up, I want to ask you. I've heard even some of your friends call you a lesbian. What do you think about that?
Are you a
That's
lesbian?
I feel like that's kind of something that you wanted to talk about as well, and something that kind of relates to the topic.
Yeah, I think that just stems from I have a very feminine face and figure, and I 9 times out of 10 when I'm dating a girl, she's gay. I've dated lesbians. I dated
Really?
and actually the girl who took my virginity was a lesbian. Matter of fact, I know that sounds weird, but yeah.
That's kind of a wow.
So maybe in a past life I was a lesbian.
A past life, or maybe in an alternate reality.
Interesting.
But I get where you're coming from, though. Very interesting, Gabe.
Right?
Yeah. No, thanks for coming on. That was great. I love that. But I kind of like that picture of that was in the group chat one time of it was a picture
that girl
that girl that
looked
kind of
just
like
like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were a girl, Gabe, you'd be kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, I've actually always
fit.
thought that. Like, if I was a girl, I'd be pretty cute.
You'd be
Not gonna
kind
lie.
of cute. Not gonna lie.
I know the picture you're talking about. That is
You
very
do?
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some people who thought that actually was me, like photoshopped or me trying,
Yeah.
like with the Snapchat filter.
You wear a push-up bra and fucking take a selfie.
I mean, you could potentially make some money doing that.
Yeah, you could catfish some
Yeah,
dudes.
catfish.
Send feet pics for money.
And when they ask you for nudes, they're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
What are those hairy legs? But I did like when you had the hair growing out, Gabe.
You like the long
Yeah.
hair?
I like the long hair.
I'm doing
do
it now
too,
right
yeah.
now because I was looking at it, I was like I kind of like that because I'm doing it now
You
too.
know,
The
a lot
long
of
hair
people
with the hat is a good look, but without the hat, it's a lot to manage, you know.
It is a lot.
a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
thought I was Hispanic when I
Our
had my long hair.
Really?
our last guest actually, Dylan, he recently, well, not recently, about a year ago, he cut his
hair was
hair, and
so long.
his hair was past his shoulders, and it would just like go out the back. It wasn't down the sides or anything. It was just like not necessarily a mullet, but it just went down back with the hat on. It looked pretty fresh, but when he had the hat off, was not the look.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Actually,
he agreed with that.
recently I buzz cut it myself.
Really?
Yeah, I did see
How,
that.
Yeah.
how does that feel? Is it a different?
Amazing, actually.
Does it
Really?
feel
It's
free?
amazing. Yeah, actually it does. And
I think
Like when you stick
now
your
is
head
the
out the
time.
window, does the wind just kind of catch your hair and you're just like,
What hair?
no, it's the opposite actually. When I had my long hair, one of my favorite things to do was just skate, because when I'd skate on my hair would just flow in the wind majestically, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. Well, now is the time if you want to buzz your hair because like quarantine
yeah,
is going to be lifted soon. But like,
hey, we don't
I
know.
mean,
we
if
don't
there's
know
any
that.
time to do it,
Now's
I
if you
mean-
want to buzz your hair, now's the time to do it. If you want to grow your hair out, now's the time to do it. Just saying.
plus it's hot outside, so
I
like,
mean, California has 3 more months now. How about that?
Wow. Oh,
jeez.
and I heard in California, their fall semester for every college has to be online. Like
Yeah.
they don't have a
ECU's
choice.
online. No, ECU's
They
come to
haven't said
class,
anything
right?
yet. I don't
Yeah,
believe.
they haven't made a decision.
Besides
Yeah.
of the block schedule.
Summer is online.
I mean, if we have a fall online semester, that's gonna suck. But also, I'm gonna have to cancel my apartment. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of
Can you back
money.
out of that?
I mean, I'm sure they would that are moving in.
Accommodate, you know.
Yeah,
What?
accommodate
How
for
long?
people
How long
for
is
the
the
fall.
lease?
My lease is from August to August every year. So
Uh-huh. So you might not
maybe.
even have to sign it though.
Well, I
I
mean,
believe you
I've
might
already
sign it a year.
pre-signed it. I've pre-signed
okay.
for this upcoming year. Yeah. So I mean,
You might just
if
lose
it,
your deposit.
yeah, I mean, if it comes to it, maybe they'll help out the residents, but hopefully it doesn't. I'm ready to get back to being on campus, of course.
Right.
Okay. Moving on to Amr. I think tag you're it. What is your insecurity of the week?
Of the week. Is this a
Yes.
weekly
the
thing
week.
now?
I don't know.
I'll have that. Okay, so essentially, I think me and Matt kind of have a similar one. It's like I have trouble trusting people, I guess. I have trouble, um, just feeling comfortable around new people. It takes me a while to get
Yeah,
acclimated to them and feel like, they could be talking shit behind my back, like
like
I get
what
sort of
if?
paranoid. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, and it's unrealistic. People, I don't like to believe that people are that evil,
Yeah,
where
I mean, of course there's people that are gonna talk behind your back, but
There always
like,
be those people.
right,
but
right.
like, how often are they gonna be doing that realistically?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, are you just being played as a fool? Like, I don't know.
I
It's
uh
a complex
I
topic.
never really had that problem. I've always been outspoken. I've always like tried. My goal in life is to fit into groups and make people laugh. I just want to bring happiness to everyone. So, but if I'm looking at it from your angle, I see that's very hard because I've been in those situations where, and it's mostly comes when I smoke a little too much and I'm high out of my mind and I'm having to introduce myself to a new person. It's like, it's almost crippling, you know?
Like you're
It's like,
worried about what they will think of you,
Yeah.
Exactly,
Your brain
exactly.
opens.
yeah,
You open yourself up to
the
all your
wrong person
insecurities. Yeah.
possibly. Yeah,
What you
and it's
really,
like,
what's really there. What you're really worried
sometimes,
about.
sometimes, sometimes people don't realize, like, there's always there's usually sometimes this person that's like annoying or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're on the other side where all your friends are like, what the fuck, like, but the person doesn't know, you know what I'm saying? So like, and they may not see what they're doing wrong, they may not, get it, and, you know, it's very, very possible that you're on the other side, that you're the one not seeing what you're doing wrong, and people are talking about you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like a snowballing effect? So once you start going down that darker path and
Oh
start
yeah.
thinking about it, does it get worse?
Oh, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it definitely does.
Okay.
'Cause you're always gonna be looking behind your back for that,
Yeah. It's so
or
freeing.
over your
Just like
shoulder. I mean,
it's so freeing. Just like going to the grocery store. Like if they're judging you, like they're the asshole. Like if someone's gonna judge you,
yeah.
they are the asshole.
Yeah, and
But
it's
then
Yeah.
like,
again, but
Philosophy.
but then again, if it's that popular person that's doing that, and they have the group behind you, then you're
Yeah.
kind of
it
fucked
sucks.
over anyways. Yeah,
You just have to try to learn not to care.
yeah,
Yeah.
I read a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And
I think I
Hmm.
heard
actually
that.
it's really helpful. It preached the fact that you shouldn't give a fuck except for the things that matter the most. So all these people that talk behind your back or you think they're talking behind your back and what other people think and care about, it shouldn't matter to you because they're not living your life. You're the one living your life. You should
Right.
care about the stuff that affects you the most.
Exactly.
But I guess in that scenario, that is what's affecting you the most. So it's a hard balance, you know.
Hmm.
It is kind of because you need to have that. You need to have that kind of anxiety to level out like your responsibilities, and then there's like the free time. You need to have that kind of anxiety to get you going, but then not so much that it cripples you. You see what I'm saying?
So do you
Yeah,
think that anxiety makes you better
I think
I
anxiety
think in
in
a
a
can
sense?
sense,
push you to, in a sense, to do what
yeah.
you need to do, but I don't. It
Eh,
can also be. It's a. There are pros and cons of anxiety. Definitely a lot of
double-edged
cons,
Yeah,
sword.
but there are also pros. Like it can motivate you.
Yeah. It's like you're getting anxious about a test, you go and study for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
It's like it's important.
It's very important.
okay. But
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
So Matt, do you wanna?
yeah. And this is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a current insecurity. It's something that I've worked hard to grow out of and be a better person through
Right.
through this insecurity. But I mean, like back in like high school, early high school, and this kind of like ruined some of my high school experience because at the beginning, even like middle school through part of high school, I basically conformed myself to be somebody I wasn't, and that was kind of the help of anxiety, as you guys were saying, and a
Hmm.
little bit of depression as well. But basically, worrying that having a best friend is not actually your best friend. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's
your
like you
best
It,
friend
come
it,
is.
second or
it's not both ways like it should
Yeah.
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
see
and
what you're
that kind of
saying.
like screws you over, and then like you're
Because
kind of
you're all
left feeling
alone.
shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and basically through that and learning that you gotta find the people that you like and like to surround yourself with instead of trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah, you gotta
Mhm.
kind of find your
And
clique.
yeah, you gotta find your group. You gotta find the people that are like you and whatnot, and not try to conform yourself to being like someone else or whatever.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you think about it, dude, like if you expand, we're literally like a tiny dot in the universe. Nothing. We are a scrap of little dirt. Like nothing matters.
Oh yeah,
Your worries and insecurities right now do not matter. Think about it. Like it's expand it. Expand everything. It does not
Yeah,
matter.
I
Relativity.
mean, it's all in your
It's
yeah.
head.
all relative.
Oh,
Exactly.
of course.
It's
Yeah,
all in
and
your
that's
head.
like what
You are your
back
worst
then.
enemy.
Yeah, like back then, that's what I had to get over, and
Yeah.
luckily, I found my co-hosts
Yeah.
Yeah.
Junior year,
and
baby.
That's cute.
junior year,
It's a
and
good
then
year.
obviously like through that came plentiful growth, and
When you have
now,
somebody to lean on, that's when it's easiest to start
yeah,
building to become.
exactly, and then
Exactly.
like through that, you lose some of the anxiety and end
Start
up
to trust.
starting to trust and trying new things and whatnot, and it
Yeah.
honestly it develops from an insecurity to like something that helps you out a lot.
To bring up Freud, what what you're explaining is you're overcoming your ego. Your id is finally trumping that ego. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
when I say ego, I don't mean
like
uh,
a
like what
bad.
everybody thinks is your ego. Like my ego being a narcissist, I think I'm better than everyone. But it's also like the other side of the fence where you think you're worse than everyone, and you've got to use
Yeah,
your id to overcome that ego. And I
Mhm.
think when you have people around you that you can trust and that believe in you, it's easier to overcome that ego than if you're alone.
of course.
Absolutely.
You're a great guest, Gabe. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
you hit it right on the nail.
We love you,
Thank
bro.
you, thank you, thank you.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone has had something somewhat like that to deal with.
Yeah,
Like
like Matt.
Amr said, with anxiety and trusting people.
Matt, remember
Lots of people.
in like ninth grade with like in Miss the English class in ninth grade. You remember that?
Ninth grade. Who's
Miss
that?
Lambert.
Miss Lambert, yeah.
Miss Lambert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Jubal behind me and like Jack in front of me and you were to my left. Like I thought you were just like the weirdest kid. Cause you were all
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
you were
And
always
I
very
like,
stuck up, like you were always very oh you shouldn't do that. Like remember
yeah.
when we had a gym class together, you were always like you need to work out to get better at football. And me and Jack were just like
And see, that was me conforming myself. Like I didn't even want to play football. I wish I had played soccer with everyone else.
exactly.
I
I
thought
was
I needed
so
to play
happy when I played
football with my
soccer.
fake friends,
Yeah.
and then I missed out on playing soccer.
Yeah, but
Yeah, like
see
And I
Matt, I didn't even really like I don't know, you were just in a completely different circle than I was, if you get what I'm saying.
it was a
I
circle
never
that wasn't even necessarily
I
accepted
never
in either. Yeah.
yeah, and like I never considered you would be interested in the same things I'm interested in. And then it turns
Hey,
out you
exactly.
are.
Yeah, it's all
You know,
about conforming yourself into someone you're not.
yeah.
I think all four of us fall into that very small crack of too cool for the lame kids and too lame for the cool kid.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that.
But there's a speech in a Logic song is like, whatever you like, you'll find others who like the same things and who are a lot the same as you are, and that's the difficulty.
Mhm.
and what I've learned from like not giving, well, obviously I give a shit, but like starting to not care what others think is kind of like how you grow and get more people to respect you as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're always kind of being a chameleon, did I say that right?
A
Yeah.
chameleon?
Chameleon.
Yeah.
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 If you're
Yeah.
always just changing your color to what you think people want you to be, then you're never really gonna be happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like you can't just think everybody's above you. You know, it's like
Yeah, you can't put people
everybody.
on a
Yeah,
You
pedestal.
should see
everyone.
yourself as equal and not
Yeah,
just trying to
everybody
beat
has their own
everything up. And
struggles.
yeah, I mean, it's just it's a rough adolescence, I guess, dealing with that.
I mean, of course, like I'm sure everyone's like I still struggle with that to some degree, but obviously it's way better,
Yeah,
better than
the more
ever, I would
people,
say.
the more people you meet, and the more the less people that wrong you in that sense,
Yeah,
the stronger your belief that people are trustworthy.
yeah, and it's all about trust as well, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well,
Well, I love it,
Philip, I
guys.
believe you're up.
Well,
Yeah, Philip.
actually, we got very deep into that, and I didn't realize y'all's insecurities would be like that. Mine's very surface level, very.
Surface level? I mean, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to make a laugh out of it.
Mine's a little lighter.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, my
Go ahead.
insecurity is my ankles, maybe a little too skinny.
What?
I always think my ankles are too skinny. That's my
Too
insecurity.
skinny? You're not getting those leg gains like you should be?
I have been cursed with the wrong genes, and I
It's
mean,
always
go
it's
ahead.
always interesting to me to people who look better than other people because you're pretty handsome. You look better than most people. It's always the people who look better who have the weird insecurities. I had another friend who was in your scenario where he looked a lot better than everybody else, but he was insecure that his neck was too long, and I'd
What?
never noticed it. Like I never
Long
thought
neck.
about it.
Wow.
Like to me, his neck was just a neck. Like I didn't think about it.
You know,
And
I think. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think a lot of girls who look like are very good looking have the same issues. They find something small and
Small
Yeah.
they
flaw,
pounce
yeah.
on it and they sit on
Yeah.
it and
Yeah.
it eats them up inside.
And it's like imagine if you were like, and of course this can be harmful as well. But imagine if you went from unattractive to attractive. Like let's say you lost a bunch of weight, you hit puberty, whatever, and you didn't have any severe self-esteem issues. But you appreciated the difference between what you were and what you are now. So you don't uh, kind of cling on to those small flaws that people actively look for. You know, it's like the pretty girl's gonna see her left eyebrows a little bit off, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm disgusting."
But at the end of the day, these small insecurities are affecting people just as heavily as the people with as we perceive as bigger insecurities.
Yeah,
It's
and
still like an insecurity that eats people
absolutely.
down to their core, regardless of what it is.
Yeah. I mean, like, Philip, this is a pretty easy insecurity. You just need to start hitting the gym a little more. I mean, I know the Johnson family gym isn't doing you justice,
Yeah.
is it?
Well, no, I need to get back into it. Leg day needs to happen 3 times a week now.
Instead of
How do
one
you
or
work
even
out your
zero.
ankles? Is that a thing?
No, I don't actually. I have no idea how to work out your ankles.
I don't.
I mean, you gotta do those ankle rotations. I
Ankle
don't know.
rotations with
You know,
like 5 pounders.
people post on their Instagram about their gains and they're showing off their muscles. Philip just posted a picture of his ankles, like, look at these gains.
thick
I'm gonna
Yeah.
post it.
ankles,
I'm gonna
baby.
post it
Oh,
on my OnlyFans.
maybe some like calf raises, something like that might help your
Well,
ankles. I
that's
don't know.
I don't. I feel like I just have to get fatter.
Fatter.
Yeah,
You gotta bulk up.
I gotta bulk up.
Eat some cake and some grilled
You're good.
cheeses.
Yeah, I could do
I
that.
don't think you. I think your ankles are just fine.
You never noticed
Yeah,
my
I like
ankles?
your ankles just the way they
I
are.
I have not noticed your ankles. Maybe
I
you
am
need a
not
little
it.
bit more of a tan. That might help your ankle situation.
You think?
Now
Come lay
when I
out
see
a
you
little
again,
bit.
Phil, I'll be looking at your ankles and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never looked at your ankles, but the next time I see you, I might have
Yeah.
to
That's why I
take a
always
peek
wore
at it.
like
Oh.
long socks because I like long socks because it covered my ankles. And I
Yes.
always
Were
feel
you one of
very
those?
insecure
Were
when
you
I
one of
wear
those
short
kids
socks.
who wore elite socks? You guys remember those?
That was
Oh
my
yeah,
yeah,
next
I wore
question.
I
Were
elite.
was
you?
I was I definitely wore those
I
when they
wore
were
Me
elite.
tight.
too.
I I wore them up until like I'd say high school is when
Yeah,
I
Ninth,
I
kind
wore
of
them.
ninth,
dropped out.
ninth, 10th grade is when I kind of stopped.
I had the pink breast cancer awareness ones.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I had those
Yeah.
too.
those are so nice, man.
You'd pull, Gabe. I could see you pulling those all the way up to like the knees.
Lesbian
When they
Gabe.
first came out, that was the way, though, right? Like you pull them
Yeah,
all the way up,
Yeah.
but then after, like as you got older, everybody started like pulling them down, and like I wouldn't say they were like small socks, but they were like almost in the middle or 3/5 the height up. You know what I mean? They would have
Mhm.
like a wrinkle in them or two.
yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird how you would look at other people's elites and think about how you should wear them? It's like, oh, that dude has them folded down. Like maybe I should fold mine down. Like,
Oh, he has
Yeah.
some blue and white ones. I need those.
It's kind of like how when you're driving, do you guys ever like when it's raining and you're driving and you look over to someone else's windshield wipers, you like try to get it on the same tick, your windshield wipers on
I
the same tick as
have
theirs?
not done that.
I've never done that.
No,
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys never done that? Cause like
that's only
No.
you.
you don't want to go too, you don't want your windshield wipers going too fast, cause like it make you seem crazy or something.
I do
Really?
try to I try to match my windshield wipers to the beat of the music.
Oh, wow. I thought I was.
Honestly, I don't even
You
pay
know,
attention to them. Like
I
if
try to put my windshield wipers to get the rain out of the way. So
I
I
was
mean, I
about to
don't
say,
know.
like,
Oh.
what pisses me off is when it doesn't get the rain. Like, there's like one spot in the corner or in the middle that it misses
Yeah.
and never gets.
Oh, you know what eats me up? When you have it in the rain is coming at like such a specific speed that one notch is too fast and one
Yeah,
notch is
Yeah.
just too slow, and you can't find that middle ground because your car doesn't have that perfect
Yeah,
notch. That's the worst.
exactly.
I think you're onto something there.
All right.
Ankles. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize y'all were gonna go so deep and emotional into this, and I was just gonna bring up my ankles.
I mean, like, you should have known. We all had to prepare for
Well, like
responding to Gabe's insecurity.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You didn't know.
I know I'm insecure about this.
Now you're insecure about your topic.
Yes. That's
It's
my-
okay. We're not judging you.
Only judging your ankles.
Don't worry, Phil. We'll get those games. I just ordered some resistance bands.
Oh,
We'll
you got
get you
some?
right. Yeah, I
Nice.
finally found some. Very
Nice.
nice.
Very nice.
Get those
Are,
home workouts.
Easy
are those
Maybe
peasy.
like
one
the
day.
bands that the girls put around their thighs so they can have a nicer butt?
Yeah.
They
Is
are.
that
I mean,
Yeah,
sorta,
man.
sorta. These have handles and they hold more weight. Like there's like a 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50-pound band in the pack, and you kind of like
Mm,
They're
you
actually kind
can.
of fun.
Yeah, you can stand on them. You can wrap them around like a wall or like a post, and kind of like work out certain parts of your body and whatnot. And
No, like you really can. Like they're really
yeah,
nice. Like you can get
it's
ripped just off those bands.
yeah. I mean, that's what people like on the go use to
Yeah.
work out every day. And I mean, being at home, like I don't have any weights, so like this is a necessity. Like I've
You-
been lucky enough to have someone that I work out with in Greenville in the park, but like when I can't make it to Greenville, I need to do
yeah.
something.
And I can't remember what it was. I believe it was Pittsburgh College. Their
Pittsburgh.
athletic programs, they all replaced all of their weights with just the heavy ropes, and they would do the arm like wavy things with the heavy ropes. And
Oh, dude, I did that for like a week straight this summer, or
Oh wait, the
well,
ropes
ever
with the
since
tires and stuff?
no, 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 no.
the heavy ropes, the big
Like the
ass
ones where like
ropes
you
that
whip them?
that you just
Yeah.
you whip
Yeah,
them with your hands, and
Ugh.
you can't let it touch. Well, I mean, you can let it touch the ground, but you can't
The
stop.
stuff that like
You just
Thor
keep
does to
going.
get in shape?
I mean, basically, like
Probably.
that's some of the hardest things I've ever done. Like
No,
it's
thank
very
you.
tough,
I'd rather be just skinny.
skinny and
Skinny and lean.
small
Lean,
ankles.
small ankle boy.
personally, I don't want to be one of those people who are super buff. I want to be like cut. You know? Like
I want to be lean, cut,
I
I
want
want
toned.
to be a
somebody to see
total
me and
Chad.
be like, oh, he can do some work, but I don't want to
Total
be like
Chad Phil.
I want to be able to
total Chad.
like
Yeah.
lift, like if I'm laying on my back, I want to be able to lift, like bench press all you guys.
All of us.
Yeah, like all you on top of each
That's a lot
other.
of weight. You want to be like bigger than Bradley Martin or The Rock Johnson?
I am bigger
Dwayne
than
The
The
Rock.
Rock Johnson. I'm 7
You
feet
are.
tall.
7 foot tall.
300 pounds of pure. But my
300
ankles are
pounds.
very, very skinny.
Everything
Well,
else is buff as shit, then your
Yeah.
Now
feet are
that
like
now
size
that you
4.
now that you tell me your weight and height, I would be secure about my ankles too if I was that big.
Really.
Yeah,
I'm like a sweetheart, but I have like I'm a sweetheart, but I'm super jacked with tiny ankles.
the alpha Chad.
The alpha Chad.
Phil.
Epic.
Well, who's up next on the topic?
Hmm?
On the
I
topic
mean,
of the
I think that concludes our main topic.
No, we can
though.
just ramble on for now.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
but
We didn't have
something
much planned.
I wanted to bring up was did you guys see the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk?
I did.
I did
Very
not
good.
I have
listen,
not yet.
but I saw it.
You guys need to check that out.
It is incredible. What
They
he's
have
talking about.
something very interesting that Elon Musk's team is working on.
What is that?
It's called a Neuralink.
Neural link.
That's scary
Neuro.
to me.
Neural.
No, it's the Neuralink. Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically it's so whenever like someone has like a disability, like they can't see, they're blind, can't hear, or and even some cases can't walk, they put this chip, like they like take apart a piece off your skull and put this chip in your head, and it like basically like the neurons like connect, if I'm saying this right. I'm not
Yeah.
electrodes kind of whatnot. They connect where they're missing, and kind of like open that back up for you, that possibility back up for you.
Wow.
I
Can I
mean,
get, like,
it has
Well, I don't know
huge
how
potential.
good that's going to be, because you see all these stories about the children. Like I heard the story about this girl, right? And she had been deaf her whole life, but when she turned 4, her family finally had the money to get her ear I don't know the correct terminology, but their ear implants
Hearing
so
aids.
she could finally hear. And she was already at the age of 4, so when she could finally hear, all the sounds that were coming in were too much for her. She couldn't handle it. So she would go to these places and she would practically freak out because she couldn't handle all these different sounds coming in that she had
Yeah,
never
like
thought of before.
just imagine going to like a mall or like a city center, and then there's just masses of people just walking around, and you just can't comprehend or handle that amount of noise.
Because your brain wasn't trained to handle those noises.
Yeah, like a sporting event or something. Like there's so many people.
So, like, I understand that it's a great thing and it could help so many people, but it could also do a lot of damage too.
Yeah, I mean, the examples I heard were more people that like had previously had all these and then lost, but
Okay.
I mean, I definitely see what you mean about not necessarily helping people that never had it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
But
it could
like,
be a big change, they might
yeah,
not
and then
be able to
like,
even handle
and
it.
then they even like explain like different options, like people that have epilepsy, like it could do away with some of their what are they called, their
Seizures.
epileptic seizures, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then like, and this thing, it just has like endless possibility, and it's just very interesting. Like they said one day, like you could be looking at someone and like talk without even moving your mouth, and they
Yeah.
like
You
me
just
and Amr
communicate.
could look at each other and like communicate through our brains,
You have like
basically.
a friends
Big
list
brain.
It's sort of like the
of who
Black
can
Mirror
hear it.
episode, right?
It is, dude. It
Yeah.
is.
But you know how scary that is? Now, like, I took a few cybersecurity courses, and nowadays people can remotely control cars and airplanes. Imagine some guy hacking into your brain and
Yeah.
controlling you and making
exactly.
you
It's
a
scary,
zombie for
man.
them.
I mean, it sounds like the way they have the beginning test runs, I guess, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the setup is that it runs like partially through Bluetooth. Like I bet that's easy to get into if you were
Yeah.
trying,
Yeah, I don't think.
They
I
got
feel like
anonymous
Bluetooth
hacks
is.
in.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
and like
easy to.
you can shut someone down and like they're just driving or something, and all of a sudden they
Pull the
can't
plug.
see. Yeah, exactly.
Kill
That'd be
grandpa.
scary.
I think it was
Like
a Fast and
disconnect.
Furious movie where like the one hacker hacked into all of the cars in the one city and made them all go after this one person.
Was that the one in Brazil?
I can't remember.
I don't know. I haven't. It's been a while.
But that's scary. You could build armies off of that if you were good enough.
You
Yeah,
could take over the world.
and I mean, like, just like he said, like the possibility is endless. Like you never know, like what they could do with this type of technology. Like we could be like 1-in-1 with AI. Like we could have an AI integration into our brain.
That's scary.
Kind of have like a Jarvis or something in our head. That
Like,
would,
it'd be like a conscience almost.
You remember
Yeah.
like Google Glass was trying to make a comeback, or like trying to become like everyone would have a Google Glass? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the future. I really thought that was going to be it.
I thought the Microsoft thing was going to be the future, and like that kind of just fell off.
Well, Microsoft
like
thing.
augmented reality.
They had like an augmented reality that they were implementing with like the NFL at the beginning, on where like you'd put the glasses on and be able to see like parts of the game and like
Wow.
data that you wouldn't normally be able to see on TV, like spaced out in your room or whatever, you know.
Oh, really?
Or like a map, like looking like open table, putting like maps and like 3D images on the tables and whatnot. Like integrated scaling. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to become Iron Man.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
would love that.
realistically, yeah.
That'd be pretty fucking
If
cool.
I could be
dude.
Tony Stark, epic.
I think that's great.
I wouldn't be able to control my power. I would do too many evil things. I wouldn't.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
you become the villain.
I
didn't
would.
Tony
And that's
Stark,
horrible to
though?
say, but I know myself well enough to know that's the truth.
I feel like
But-
I'd become a villain too. I feel like I'd be in a video game and just go like GTA ham on everything.
Start
Sorry.
putting in cheat codes.
Yeah.
Why is he dancing?
Just Fortnite dance
Dancing
while
for
I
no
like
reason.
mow down people with my AR-15.
Helicopter just spawns in the middle of a
That's a little
freeway.
dark, Philip.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're not gonna get powers now. They're gonna be listening
Yeah,
to you. And be
sorry.
like, did a background check and you did say you would use them for
please,
evil.
No, please
You
no.
will not be getting the Neuralink.
I want Neuralink, please.
But yeah, it's we're in a very interesting time that is open for lots of development and lots of cool technology in the future. Like, how long do you guys think before we get like a flying car or something like that?
They've
That's
been
not
talking.
possible.
They've been talking about flying cars since the 50s.
I was about to say, yeah, it's been a while.
It's not possible.
Why?
Like the
Why is it not possible?
Yeah, what? What?
Until it advances like tenfold,
Wait,
we
what?
are not going to be, until our technology advances tenfold, we're not going to be able to have that sort of emission coming from cars, because either one, it's going to be too loud, two, it's going to pollute everything, or like
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
use magnets to propel it up or anything like that. That was on the first Elon Musk and Joe Rogan podcast. Actually, he said
Yeah.
that the best way, instead of going up, we should be going down. We should be
Yeah.
trying to go through, make layers of tunnels through the
And-
under
Yeah.
the
And
surface.
that's what
And
the
I think-
boring company's doing.
And I think that's viable. I mean, imagine if you had multiple roads to the same location, just there was 3 levels of them, so you could handle 3 times the traffic.
Yeah, and I mean but you gotta think, like, if we had flying cars, like you've seen how long it's taken for us to have like a system of roadways and interstates and highways and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine what they would have to do for the sky.
Yeah, I mean that would be a
Like you
gigantic
can't
Star
project.
Wars.
you can't just be having like cars going everywhere
Yeah.
and
There would have to be
Yeah,
some
up and
sort
down
of
and-
system.
Like you're just driving and a car comes crashing down on your head. Like
yeah, like you're just
yeah, I
chilling
think
and
What if it was used for emergencies? Like it was illegal to use it unless it was an emergency. So emergency vehicles could use it when they turn on their sirens.
Oh,
Say
so they
you
could
have
like
somebody in
avoid
your car
traffic.
that's dying. Exactly. Because if you're in these
Ooh.
big
Yeah.
cities, you're going to take hours to go
Yeah.
just on a highway. It would take me 10 minutes in this small town, you know?
and
Yeah.
I think that obviously the biggest obstacle is the technology is not there yet. You need
Yeah.
new kind of flight engines that you can't just fly a car right on top of people like that. I mean that
Yeah.
wouldn't work. unless
Yeah,
you're super high up. And
if you
I mean,
flew a car on top of somebody, they like burned to death. What would happen to them?
They would burn to death.
They would?
yeah.
Were they sucked up into the engine or something? Get lawsuits on our hands?
I mean, like imagine if somebody's in a convertible and they just get sucked into the turbine and get shredded to 10,000
Like a meat
pieces.
grinder, like an ordinary sausage.
Yeah.
Going back to what Amr said, though, how much time it would take to put into that? Because even building our highways and stuff, I see construction everywhere I go.
Everywhere.
Dude,
It's
yeah.
it's
Everywhere
everywhere.
I
It's
go.
Yeah.
I
ridiculous.
see
It's a
construction
conspiracy.
everywhere. There's a
I'm- I don't know. The flying cars is not realistic as of right now, but what is realistic, like you were saying, Gabe, the Boring Company loops and tunnels
Mhm.
that they have planned, that's significant. Like just
Yeah.
imagine being able to get from like one like for one instance, from Washington DC to Baltimore in like
Like in Europe.
less than like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
like
How would the
these
pressure affect
tunnels
us,
are
though?
say what?
it
How
doesn't.
would the pressure and oxygen affect us? Because when people go and they're
It's
swimming,
it's a pressurized cabin traveling at 600 miles an hour.
then
A trip from DC to Baltimore would take 8 minutes. A trip from DC to New York would take 30
Are you
minutes. That is
serious?
incredible.
wow,
That's insane.
Bro, that's like teleportation almost.
Yeah. Like it would take
Once
so
we-
long to just like get used to that. Like how do you get used to traveling somewhere
we-
so
Well,
fast?
well, okay. Look at it this way. You know,
It's
every
it's like
couple.
going from cars to planes. I mean,
Exactly. I mean, you know, it's like a revolution. You know, you went from boats to ironclads to faster boats to even faster boats to boats like they can cross the world in, you know, a ridiculous record amount of time. You know, that
yeah.
people
Yeah.
in the 1700s, 1800s would have thought was
Remember
impossible.
when people thought hot air balloons would be the future?
there
Nukes.
Right.
there are jets now
Yeah.
that can do a full circle of the Earth in a half a day,
We got
like a jet.
freaking satellites, man.
That's
I mean,
wild.
they traveled the speed of faster than the speed of sound. I mean, just think about that. We made something, we engineered something that travels in the sky. It flies in the sky like a bird, faster than the speed of sound. I mean, it's incredible.
I want to bring it back a little bit. One of you guys brought up teleportation. If it was possible, like this is just an if statement, but if teleportation eventually does become possible, all of our roads are going to be like almost useless. They're going to
Yeah.
seem abandoned.
Well, I don't
What are
know.
we going to do?
I feel like some people I feel like some people will kind of like the retro
Yeah, the old
manual
fashioned.
kind of. The
Okay,
boomers
okay.
will kind of like driving on the road, like, ooh,
I was
you youngins never learn how to drive, like.
I was about to
That'd
say
be us.
if teleportation was the case, all these cars that we couldn't dream of ever having, it would be
Goes out
more
the
like
window.
no, I'm saying it would be more of like a hobby then, and like these cars would be cheaper, essentially,
Okay.
and
Yeah, there would be so
maybe
many
one
of
day
them.
instead of teleporting, you'd want to go out for a Saturday drive down the highway.
Ooh, they could be like
Right.
a vacation, sort of.
Do you
And
think that
maybe
we would keep all of our main highways and take out some of the lesser roads, or do you think we would just keep all of our roads? Because with overpopulation, we're gonna need extra land eventually, right?
Yeah,
So
and think about like the federal government basically giving like the money to the states like for road budget. Help me out here. Like, what am I trying to say?
for teleportation budget.
Shut up. Fucking
What? Oh, I'm confused.
Yeah, what are you going on about?
like taxes towards it.
like the federal government gives out money to states for their highways and stuff.
Right.
So they have to like obey. The states have to obey what the federal government wants, or they won't get like the money for the roads. You following
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I'm lost now too. Oh my god.
Uh, oh god.
But that comes down to being a democracy, right? Because we're gonna vote on these laws of should we keep these roads, should we destroy these roads, what are we gonna do? Like it comes down to
I think they would
us
keep the
telling
roads
the
because
government.
Yeah.
why would I mean why wouldn't you?
I mean, like what if like your teleportation ends up failing and you need to get somewhere?
Yeah.
Hey,
And
you gotta
also,
get.
I don't know.
What
I
if you
don't
just
know
And
if
like,
die in the
teleportation would
process?
even.
and by time, I mean like, you probably would end up also having. If we had teleportation, we'd probably also having robots doing most of our daily like construction work. So we'd probably have robots driving up and down these highways
We already
doing
do.
construction. Exactly.
We live in a society where people are on their phones and they're all robots, and that's what they do. They go to work, and after they
We
get off
are
work, they go
robots.
home and they watch TV till they sleep, till they wake up in the morning to go do the same thing. They're robots.
Yeah, I mean like we're technically a robot. We cannot go anywhere without our cell phones.
Yeah, I feel very naked without my cell phone.
Don't
Yeah.
put a we in there. I'm not like that. Because the cell phones, they're a drug.
It really is an
Really is.
addiction.
You're
It
addicting
Essentially.
really
to
is.
dopamine.
And it's empowering to say no. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, but there's this like almost like a pull in your mind saying that I need to check to see if I got notifications, you know? But
Yeah.
if you can overcome that and be like, no, I don't want to pick up my phone and look at that, it's empowering.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's
It
almost
is hard though.
very hard because
Very
you
Yeah.
do it
hard.
without even thinking about it. You just pick it up.
It's a
Oh, no
habit for
messages. Put it back
sure.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a habit, but also like you don't want to miss something. Like you don't want to miss
Yeah.
something that your friends are talking
But
about or
like, does it
whatnot.
really matter
Don't
in
want
the
to don't
long
want to
run?
miss what yeah. Don't want to miss what's new in the chat.
Yeah, the secret chat.
The secret chat, all the chats, all the group chats and whatnot.
Yes, yes.
If you want to have another topic that I'd like to bring up, it's a little philosophical again.
Philosophical. I mean, what do we have time for another topic, Philip? What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, we're good.
15
So
minutes, something like that.
I'm reading Tom Sawyer right now because I've been on this bend where I go back and read all these classic books, and there's a chapter, right? And I'm gonna tell the story right quick. So Tom Sawyer got in trouble, and since he was in trouble, he had to whitewash a fence. And he's one of those people that don't like to work at all. So he starts whitewashing the fence, and he realizes this is horrible. He hates it. He wants to go and play. Well, a kid walks up, and he tries to trick the kid. And he's like, "Hey, man, you're gonna whitewash this fence for me? I don't have anything to trade you, but I'll go do your chores and you do this." And the kid's like, "No, I was told not to talk to you." Blah blah blah. So then he changes his mindset, and he's thinking, "What if I can make doing painting and whitewashing this fence seem fun?" So when the next kid walks up, he's like, "Wow, I'm having a great time. I never get to whitewash a fence. When do you ever get to whitewash the fence?" And the kid's like,
Oh,
"I want to whitewash the fence."
I want to do that.
And that's when Tom Sawyer says no. He says, "No,
Ooh.
I don't want to let you whitewash this fence. I'm having too much fun." So the kid trades him his apple just to be able to whitewash the fence for him. By the end of the day,
Some toddler stuff.
the entire fence had been whitewashed 3 times by like over 20 kids, and each kid brought him something just so they could whitewash the fence. So what I'm getting at is all this work that we do, it's a mindset. If we can change our mindset from it being work to it being fun, we can accomplish so much more.
Exactly.
Not only that, but you'd actually enjoy the work. I mean,
Yeah.
if you could trick
Exactly.
yourself into thinking that.
That's the difference between driving a stagecoach for somebody rich and riding in the stagecoach when you are rich. The guy driving it, he thinks that, oh, this is a job, this is horrible, I gotta drive these horses around for the rich person in the back. But in reality, that's great. I would love to go on a stagecoach and just ride around with horses and go throughout the town, you know? So it's just a mindset, I think.
Yeah, I could see that.
That is
It's tough though, because like when you legitimately, genuinely do not enjoy your job, I mean, you'd really have to be fooling yourself into enjoying it, and I mean, it's easier said than done.
And the saying that if you truly love what you do, it's not a job, that's a lie. I don't think that's true. I think
you don't.
everybody has to work a job at the end of the day.
I was about to say you don't think anyone working can enjoy it. Well, not necessarily enjoy it, but have fun. Like
I think some people.
That's the difference. You've got to be able to turn it into something fun. Change your mindset.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like you hear some of these YouTubers, streamers, whatever, saying like they're not having fun anymore. They're having to work probably more than the average person would even have to work. So like the people like us would think like, yeah, I bet that job is fun, but like to them, like, is it though?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think it is a lot of work. Like even the YouTubers, they enjoy being YouTubers overall, but it
Yeah,
is a job. You know, you have to there, smile, and entertain people, whatever
yeah.
audience you have, and do it
Like you,
consistently.
like there's one
That's
day you
hard.
don't want to go into work,
Yeah, you just
but you gotta.
gotta do it.
So maybe we should think of, instead of forcing ourselves, it's you get to do it. It's not like I have to do it. It's you get to do it, because at the other end of the stick, I could just not have a job at all, and I could not be making, and it'd be in a scenario where I'm not making any money. I would love to have that job, right?
Right.
Mhm.
But instead,
Yeah.
I'm so upset that I have to go in and day out to this job. But it's a privilege. So once we can see that it's a privilege and not a requirement, I think that society is going to be a happier stance, be in a
Yeah,
happier stance.
you're definitely onto something there. I mean, stinks that not everybody sees it that way. I wish everyone did, but like, you could be in a far worse place.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I mean,
It's always
then there's
someone
the
better
people
than
that are
you. There's
always
always
wanting
someone
more.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
Relativity again.
never compare.
I mean,
Everything's
it's
relative.
very hard to be satisfied.
Yeah. I saw this
People,
one thing about this one guy. He was like a millionaire, but he every month he gives everything away, but he keeps like 30K a month, or no, sorry, 30K a year, because that is like
if
Mm,
you're
the
satisfied,
borderline happiness, like the amount of money you need to have be happy.
because it plateaus.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, exactly.
it's
Okay.
like the material things don't only make you happy until a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you see so many of these rich people, like very well off people, sharing a large portion of their money. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have friends to spend that money with. Like, if I had all that money and I was alone, like, you'd be bored instantly.
What's that
Right.
J. Cole quote? It's like, what's the point of sitting in first class if my friends can't join me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That quote says it all.
It's like you're there, but you're there alone.
It's in Middle Child, right?
Hmm.
I believe.
Middle Child.
It's really loud, man.
Ah,
Good song.
what's good? What good is the bread? My homies is broke. What's good is first class if my homies can't sit?
Yeah.
Yeah. What good is first class? So yeah, I mean, definitely. Like if the boys aren't along for the ride with you, then what good is it?
And what's the point?
Yeah.
There's the study of Stoicism where it says, it's about being happy with nothing. The guy who started, his name is Marcus Aurelius. He was homeless. Everybody thought he was crazy because he didn't want anything. He had the same pair of clothes for his entire life, and every year he would buy like a new pair of shoes, one pair of shoes per year. And what he was trying to do is he was trying to train himself to be happy with nothing. So if you can train yourself to be happy with nothing, it doesn't matter how much money you
Exactly.
get and how much
Yeah.
money you don't get.
You're immortal. I mean, you can't be affected by anything. If you have nothing and you're happy with nothing, I mean, can you have less than nothing? You really can't.
Yeah.
I mean, your life can suck. Your life can be shitty, but if you're satisfied,
I
then
definitely think money can buy a certain up to a certain level of happiness,
yeah,
but then
the
there's
worry.
the worries. Exactly. It can relieve that
Right.
anxiety,
Yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily buy you everything you want.
There's
Yeah,
a
it could get rid of a certain level of stress,
Yeah.
of course.
there's
Like
another
you don't have to
music
worry
quote
about that next paycheck.
by Kendrick Lamar, and it's money
Oh,
trees are
what?
the perfect place for shade.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know if that's verbatim,
Yeah,
but
I could.
I think that is.
It makes you comfortable.
Is comfortable what you want to be though?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you don't want to be uncomfortable. Why would you want to be uncomfortable?
Because being comfortable is boring to me.
I mean, it depends on what your definition of comfortable is. I mean comfortable as in you don't have to worry about, not getting food or not being able to afford housing or, I'm talking about just having the things you need and being able to be satisfied with what you have.
Okay.
Uncomfortable, I mean, is like, not having those things, obviously.
Yeah.
So the goal is to be content.
The goal is to be content.
Yeah.
It's a fine
It's
line
an
that
appeasement.
we're crossing here.
Yeah.
All
Like, I mean, it's really tough for. I mean, like, not everyone can be in this position, but that's why
And we are blessed.
very blessed. You got to grind. It's a
Rise
hard
and grind,
grind.
baby.
Some people aren't lucky enough for
Rise
it.
and grind.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thanks,
having me
guys.
on the podcast.
Dude,
I really I had a great time.
We'll have
I
you sit
appreciate it a
back
lot.
soon.
Dude, honestly,
Round of applause for Gabe.
Gabe, you were the best guest we've had. Amazing.
Oh, you make
Thank
me
you.
blush.
Oh.
Make him blush.
But Gabe,
Alright.
you want to plug anything?
Yeah. Get off your cell phones. Do something in
Very
the real
good.
world. Stop and smell the roses. Okay.
Ah, Mr. The Stop Smell the Roses.
I
I like that.
Very good. Well, see you next week on
Yeah.
the Secret Chat podcast.
Please subscribe and review us on iTunes. I'm gonna give a very special shout out to Charlotte Kelly for donating to the podcast. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you,
I did
Charlotte,
not
for
force
the
you
donation.
to donate.
She might like you,
wait,
Philip. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I
just
think she
happened?
likes me. I don't know.
Did you force her to donate money to our podcast?
No, I did not. I did not. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We'll have an update on that next week on the podcast.
If you'd like to donate, you can check out our website. And we're also live at Secret Chat, twitch.tv/the Secret Chat Podcast. That's it, guys. See you next week. Bye.